So, Pete, what was that with you last night? You were tossing and turning.
I didn't sleep well last
You
night.
kept me up. What was going on?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but sometimes I feel like I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders. The things that I think about, like, is it Taylor ham or pork roll, or do people like the Munsters or the Addams Family? It's the Sonic Boomers podcast. I'm Pete Torriello.
I'm Maureen Torriello.
Program number 101. We asked, and you told us, we actually put some of these questions out on Facebook, and we had quite a few respondents on
We
it.
sure did.
And so let's turn right to our respondents and see if we can settle some of these hard-hitting issues that keep me, and I dare say many other people, up late at night.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
The questions were, well, I guess we'll just go through them as we go along here. We heard from James J.
All right, Jimmy J.
And we asked, do you like Oreo, Hydrox, or store brand cookies?
Okay.
And James told us he likes Oreos.
I'll go with him on that.
Okay. Another question was, do you like to put your condiments on the meat or on the bread? Do you put your mayonnaise and your ketchup or your mustard? Do you spread it on the bread side of the sandwich, or do you put it on the meat side of that? This is important. What are you laughing at? This is important stuff here.
Okay.
And Jim said he puts it on the bread.
Okay.
Now, ketchup on eggs.
Well, you know me. I don't eat eggs at all.
I know. Jim says no.
Okay.
No ketchup. Is it a hot dog or is it a Frankfurter? He says hot dog.
Hot dog, yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer Coke or do you prefer Pepsi? And Jim said Pepsi. Now, here it is. Is it Taylor ham?
Drum roll.
Is it Taylor ham or pork roll? And Jim says Taylor ham.
You know, I think that's a North Jersey, South Jersey kind of thing. I've heard that people up north tend to say Taylor ham, people down south say pork roll.
I think...
Or is it the other way around?
Our neighbor, Joe Guz, said Taylor ham is a brand name.
Right.
Pork roll is the product.
Right.
That was the way that he explained it.
But people refer to it, by the name anyway.
So Jim says Taylor ham, not pork roll. Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble? And he says Wilma Flintstone.
Okay.
The Munsters or the Addams Family? And Jim voted for the Munsters.
Okay.
I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched? And he voted for Bewitched. Twilight Zone, One Step Beyond, Outer Limits, or Night Gallery? And his vote was the Twilight Zone. Do you prefer to see a movie in a movie theater or watch it at home? And he said watch it at home. Do you like Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's? And Jim voted for Wendy's. Aretha Franklin or Whitney Houston? Now that's a good question. Because you can really argue the merits of the two forever.
But their genre was kind of different.
I guess. I think Whitney was more pop and maybe Aretha was more R&B and soul. But he voted for Whitney.
Okay.
And Barbra Streisand or Celine Dion, and Jim voted for Celine Dion.
All right.
Okay. What have you got there?
All right. I've got from Maureen H., no relation to me.
Okay.
And when it came to the Oreo Hydrox question, she likes Oreos.
Okay.
Condiments on bread. No ketchup on eggs. Hot dog. Pepsi over Coke.
Oh.
Taylor ham or pork roll, she says neither.
What's wrong with her?
I don't know.
What is wrong? Well, she's not from New Jersey.
Oh, maybe she.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Wilma Flintstone over Betty.
Okay.
Addams Family over Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
Bewitched over I Dream of Jeannie. Twilight Zone She likes to watch the movies at home. She likes McDonald's out of the big three, Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's. Aretha over Whitney, and Barbara Streisand over Celine Dion.
Okay. Now we heard from Chris Q, and Chris says, Oreos all the way. Condiments go on the bread. No ketchup on eggs. It's a hot dog, not a Frankfurter. Votes for Coke over Pepsi. It's Taylor ham, not pork roll. Voted for Betty Rubble over Wilma. Prefers the Addams Family to the Munsters. Prefers Bewitched to I Dream of Jeannie. Twilight Zone. Prefers watching movies at home. Voted for McDonald's over Burger King or Wendy's. Selected Aretha Franklin. And says Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion, neither one, but Babs over Celine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
And Joe N. Oreo over Hydrox.
Okay.
Condiments on the bread. No ketchup on the eggs. Hot dogs all the way. Pepsi over Coke. Taylor ham. Betty Rubble. You know, when it comes to those two, it's like, I like Wilma for her smarts, but Betty's cuter.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know
that's
which
true.
one I would
Betty
pick.
Betty was kind of cute. Wilma was smart.
Munsters over Addams. Bewitched over I Dream of Jeannie. Didn't pick on the Twilight Zone question. Prefers to watch at home to a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy's for her favorite fast food. Whitney Houston and Celine Dion.
Okay, we have Mark L. Mark L says prefers store brand cookies over Hydrox or Oreo. That's interesting. Prefers to have the condiments put on the bread. Hot sauce on eggs, not ketchup,
Okay.
but likes hot sauce on the eggs. Is it a hot dog or a Frankfurter? And he puts, it's a worst, damn it.
That's the worst answer I ever heard.
Coke or Pepsi? Why drink either, he says. Mark,
When there's wine.
Mark, can I tell you something, Mark? Don't break my balls here, okay? That's Maureen's job. That's right. When there's wine,
Why
have Coke or Pepsi? Is it Taylor ham or pork roll? He says it's Taylor ham. Wilma or Betty? N.A. Not applicable. Okay. Is it the Munsters or the Addams Family? He likes the Addams Family. I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched, and for some reason it appears that he selected both.
Okay.
Twilight Zone, One Step Beyond, Outer Limits, or Night Gallery, he voted for the Twilight Zone. Prefers watching movies at home. Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, he says none of the above. Order a pie and stay home. Aretha Franklin or Whitney Houston, he says Aretha Franklin. Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion, none. Put on Ella Fitzgerald and get some... put on some Ella Fitzgerald and get that caterwauling out of my ears.
Oh, man.
Doesn't like either one of them.
I guess not.
Okay.
Don't tell us how you really feel, Mark.
Boy.
All right.
That's pretty tough talk for a guy that likes store brand cookies. That's all I got to say here.
All right. Now we've got Drew/Andy.
Okay.
Oreos.
Mm-hmm.
Condiments on the bread. Ketchup on eggs. Yes. And then they say, or hot sauce. So another hot sauce liker. Hot dog. Coke. Taylor ham. Betty Rubble. He said he hates Wilma's voice.
Frad.
Addams Family was more entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too.
Yeah, I liked the Addams Family too. I Dream of Jeannie. It says Barbara Eden all the way.
Oh, are you kidding? Who could deny that? Come on, Barbara Eden versus Elizabeth Montgomery. Are you silly?
And then the Twilight Zone, One Step Beyond question. He said none, but he liked chiller theater.
Oh, didn't we all? Didn't we all? Saturday nights at 7:30 on Channel 11. Chiller Theater.
I hardly ever watched it.
That was required viewing in my family. That's what you did on Saturday night.
No, we didn't live around
My uncle used to call it chili. It's time for chili.
Movie theater or home? Home. Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's? Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
Aretha. And this is a funny one. Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion? Neither. Put them both on the Titanic and let it sink.
Michelle S. Hi. She says prefers Oreo double stuff.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to do it, might as well.
Put the condiments on the bread. Ketchup on eggs? No. It's a hot dog, not a Frankfurter. Coke? Diet Coke over Pepsi. Why do you people do this to me? I didn't put Diet Coke on the survey. I just said Coke or Pepsi. And I on Diet Coke. Okay. Taylor ham or pork roll? Of course it's Taylor ham. Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble? Never thought of it. Well, start thinking about it. Michelle, this is important stuff. You understand? I'm up late at night worrying about these preferences. So give it some consideration here. I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched? Voted for Bewitched, but liked both. She is that 2% that's always in every survey that they call undecided. Night Gallery over Twilight Zone. Over One Step Beyond over Outer Limits. Voted for Night Gallery. Prefers movies in a movie theater. I've got to check the master tally, but I think that
that's
she might be
the
only one maybe that still wants to see movies in a movie theater. Preferred McDonald's. She prefers Aretha Franklin over Whitney. Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion, she says not crazy about either, but Celine is more irritating. I kind of agree. I find Celine Dion really irritating.
Really?
All the histrionics that she does when she sings and she bangs her chest with her fist and she gets these really intense faces,
Yeah, but if you're just listening to her on a CD or something,
when she sings, she looks like she's trying to take a big poopy. She's got that.
Well, we can't unsee that one now, huh?
That face. I'll do that again. And that's how she is when she sings. And It's like, I don't want to see that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Eddie P.
Okay. Big Ed.
Okay. He likes the store brand. He says the dollar store stale.
Yeah, I think he likes them stale.
Oh, he likes them stale.
Likes them stale from the dollar store.
Oh, no. Yeah. Not stale.
It gives them that extra crunch.
Well, to me, stale cookies are soggy.
Oh, okay.
But maybe, I don't know. Condiments on the bread, one side only. Very particular. Ketchup on eggs. And he said, yes, with curry.
Ooh.
And it's a hot dog.
That's hot.
It's a hot dog. Coke or Pepsi. None. He prefers the store brand or carbonated water.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor ham. He says that the two are synonymous, and he's out in the Pacific Northwest, so he said it's not available out there.
And that is why we would not move to the Pacific Northwest. And that's hard to fathom. If you're a New Jerseyan, or if you're from the New York metropolitan area, it is very hard for you to fathom that there are places in these great United States that they don't know what a Taylor ham or a pork roll is, and they don't know what a bagel is.
They might know what it is, but it doesn't taste the same. Their bagels are not New York.
Because I was down south. I was in Virginia. I was down in Brookneal, Virginia with a buddy of mine, and we stopped in a place for breakfast, and I asked them if they had bagels, and the girl was like, "What's a bagel?"
Really?
And I was like, "You're kidding me, right?"
Huh.
And she had no clue what a bagel was.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I know when we went out to Notre Dame out in Indiana, and we ordered a bagel. They gave us like a lender's bagel, like the frozen bagels that you get in the supermarket. It wasn't a good New
It's
York
not like
bagel.
a good, fresh baked bagel. Bake them, or you boil them, really, right? You don't bake
Well,
them.
you boil them first, and then you
bake them a little bit?
I don't know, toast them or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, that was the Taylor Ham question. Wilma Flintstone, because she puts up with Fred. Attaboy.
Yeah.
Addams Family over Munsters. I Dream of Jeannie. And he says, what a fox. I can't read your writing here.
Let me see. Maybe I can read it. Let me see. I Dream of Jeannie. Oh, yes. What a fox, with or without navel revealed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Twilight Zone and Night Gallery he likes.
Mm-hmm.
He prefers to watch movies at home. Burger King wins on the fast food chain. Aretha Franklin for Respect. And Barbara Streisand, he says, although both have beautiful, very distinct voices.
Okay, we heard from Vicky T. And Vicky T says Oreo over store brand or Hydrox. She also voted for put your condiments on the bread, not on the meat. Ketchup belongs on eggs. It's a hot dog, not a Frankfurter. Coke is better than Pepsi. Taylor Ham or pork roll says Taylor Ham with editorial comment of duh. Wilma Flintstone over Betty. Munsters over the Addams Family. I Dream of Jeannie wins over Bewitched. Now, this is interesting. Twilight Zone, One Step Beyond, Outer Limits, or Night Gallery, she says none.
Okay.
Movie theater, watch movie in the theater or watch it at home, she says both. Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, she voted for McDonald's. Aretha Franklin or Whitney, she voted for Whitney. And Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion, she didn't respond to either, just a tough one.
Okay.
Okay.
And Ed F. likes Oreos. Puts the condiments on the meat. I think he's the first one that said
I think that is the first condiments. Condiments. You have no idea how many times I've come close to saying condoms. How many times? Condiments on the meat.
Well, I win with my condoms on meat anyway. Okay, ketchup on eggs, no. It's a hot dog. It's Coke for him. Taylor Ham, Betty Rubble, the Munsters over the Addams Family, Bewitched over I Dream of Jeannie, Twilight Zone, watch the movies at home, doesn't like Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, Aretha Franklin, and it says Barbara Streisand, Celine Dion, none. Ugh.
Okay. Ivan D. checking in. Ivan says, Oreos. Condiments go on the bread. Ketchup, okay on eggs. It's a hot dog. Prefers Coke over Pepsi. It's Taylor Ham, not pork roll. Pork rolls, he says, pork roll is for South Jersey trash.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, this is something that...
The opinions expressed by our listeners are not necessarily those of the management.
Yeah, sometimes they are my opinions, but not in this case. So, wow. Pork roll is for South Jersey white trash. Holy mackerel. Betty Rubble over Wilma. Munsters over the Addams Family. I Dream of Jeannie over Bewitched. Preferred Twilight Zone. He also says Black Mirror on Netflix.
Okay.
Movie theater or watch at home. Watch at home. Voted for McDonald's over Wendy's and Burger King. Voted for Whitney Houston. And says Barbara Streisand, but young Barb.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is for Donna S.B. We have Oreos, condiments on the bread. Yes, ketchup on eggs, only if scrambled. Is it a hot dog? Yes, a hot dog. Coke over Pepsi, Taylor Ham. Betty Rubble wins the race between her and Wilma. Addams Family over the Munsters. Bewitched over Dream of Jeannie. Twilight Zone. Watching movies at home. Burger King, but she liked McDonald's fries better. Whitney Houston over Aretha, and Barbara Streisand over Celine Dion.
Then Bernie W. says Oreo, meat, condiments on the meat. No ketchup on your eggs. It's a hot dog, not a Frankfurter. Voted for Coke Zero over Pepsi, which they also make a Pepsi Zero, by the way. It's Taylor ham, not pork roll. Voted for Betty Rubble over Wilma Flintstone. Prefers the Munsters over the Addams Family. Bewitched over I Dream of Jeannie. Voted for The Twilight Zone. Prefers to watch movies at home because it's at a lower volume. Wendy's over Burger King or McD's. Voted for Whitney over Aretha. And Celine over Barbara Streisand.
All right, Anita B. Hydrox. It says Oreo wasn't kosher.
Okay.
And she doesn't eat meat, so she doesn't put condiments on her meat. No ketchup on eggs. It's a hot dog. A Frank in a roll makes it a hot dog.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a technician here.
She likes neither one on the Coke or Pepsi. Neither one on the Taylor ham or pork roll. Doesn't like Wilma or Betty.
Anita, can I ask you something here? What the hell do you like?
Well, she liked Adams. She liked Addams Family because they were all together ooky. She likes both I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Twilight Zone, One Step Beyond, Outer Limits, or Night Gallery, she picks Star Trek.
There's always one troublemaker. There's always one.
All right. Movie theater or watch at home. And she says, in COVID, do you even have to ask?
Are you trying to pick a fight with us, Anita? Is that... I mean,
it's all with Pete.
if you're going to... Bring it, okay? Yeah. Don't make me come over there, Anita. I'll get out of this chair. I'll be there in an hour and a half. Keep going.
Okay. The Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's, just none of them.
Okay.
Aretha over Whitney and Barbara Streisand over Celine.
Join us again on the next edition of our podcast when we'll have more of what Anita hates. That'll be the podcast. It's time now for What Anita Hates. I think you've got the last one, right?
I got one
And
left.
I've got the final tally.
Oh, okay. We have from Chris, she likes Oreos, condiments on meat, ketchup on eggs, yes. Hot dog or Frankfurter didn't answer. Coke over Pepsi. Taylor ham or pork roll, neither one. Wilma over Betty. Munsters over the Addams Family. Bewitched over I Dream of Jeannie. Twilight Zone wins on the TV shows. Movie theater or at home. McDonald's on the fast foods. Whitney Houston and Barbara Streisand.
All right, now you might be thinking at the end of the day, what did all of this break down to? Well, I put together a tally of our
good.
respondents.
I was hoping you did that.
Okay?
You
And
read my mind.
Question number 1, Oreo Hydrox or store brand. Oreo was the runaway champion.
And that doesn't surprise me.
Only 2 people voted for Hydrox. And that was Anita and yours truly.
Right.
Because I liked the Hydrox better because I thought they were more chocolatey.
Okay.
Okay. And we had 2 votes for store brand. Condiments on meat. We had 4 voting for the meat and 12 voting for on bread. Ketchup on eggs. We had 8 yes and 8 no's.
So it's either way.
Either way, it's 50-50 split. Is it a hot dog or a Frankfurter? Hot dog ran away with it. And with 12 votes, or 11 votes, because not everybody voted for an answer. 11 votes for a hot dog. Nobody calls it a Frankfurter in our survey. Is it Coke or Pepsi? Well, the Coke people will be very happy to know that they scored a 10 and Pepsi only scored a 4.
I'm surprised. I would have thought that would have come out 50-50 also.
Is it Taylor ham or pork roll? Runaway, 12 votes for Taylor ham, no votes on the pork roll. Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble? We had 6 votes for Wilma and 7 for Betty Rubble.
Okay.
So almost another 50-50 split. This one surprised me. Munsters or the Addams Family? We had 8 votes for the Munsters, 8 votes for the Addams Family.
Okay.
Split right down the middle. I always preferred the Addams Family.
The Addams Family was a little bit more, like it had more meat to it. Like the Munsters was kind of goofy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I take my horror movies very seriously.
Oh, I know you do.
So I don't like the fact that they were kind of poking fun at Frankenstein, at Dracula.
How dare they?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I just didn't like it. Just like I didn't like when they did Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. Now you have these horror movie characters that carried Universal Pictures for so many years, really kept them above water.
Yeah.
And later in the 1940s, now you're making fun of these characters. Mm-hmm. And I really had a problem with that. So I thought the Addams Family was wittier.
Yes.
And for God's sake, you had Carolyn Jones. Morticia was like gorgeous. Like who didn't have a crush on Morticia or on Barbara Eden?
Okay.
In I Dream of Jeannie. We're down to I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched. I can't believe this. Bewitched edged out Jeannie. 11 votes for a Bewitched and 7 for Jeannie. I cannot believe that.
I think it might have to do with the age of responding, because I think Bewitched was a little bit newer. I Dream of Jeannie came on first, and it may not have been in their wheelhouse.
I would say of the 2 characters, Samantha was the smarter of the 2. I think Jeannie, Barbara Eden played her as a little ditzier.
Yeah.
So that might have been it too. Twilight Zone, we had 10 votes for Twilight Zone, 1 for One Step Beyond, none for 1 for Outer Limits. No, I'm sorry. That was Star Trek that Anita voted for. So 10 for Twilight Zone, 1 for One Step Beyond, nothing for Outer Limits, 1 for Night Gallery, and 1 add-on for Star Trek. Do you prefer watching movies at home or in the theater? Unanimous at home. One person said could go either way.
Right.
So that was a runaway. So movie theaters, you definitely do have a problem. Your favorite burger? The winner was McDonald's, followed by Wendy's, and Burger King came up in 3rd place, which I'm surprised because in my opinion,
right,
the Burger King Whopper, the flame broiled Whopper, is still the best. And I haven't had one in many years.
Yeah.
And I do have a hankering for one every now and then. But for me, I think the Burger King Whopper is the burger.
I think it might have been the problem in the way we asked the question, because you just said, what do you like, Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's? You didn't say they're burgers.
Okay.
And I think like the overall...
I've got Frank Gallup here sitting with me now.
No, I mean, if you ask me burgers,
Yeah.
I would say I like the Burger King because the flame broiled and all that stuff. But like the overall product selection, maybe something else might have come up.
Okay, Aretha Franklin or a Celine Dion?
No, Aretha or Whitney.
I'm sorry, Aretha or Whitney. It was close. It was 9 for Aretha, 7 for Whitney. And Barbara Streisand or Celine Dion, and this does not surprise me, 8 for Barbara Streisand, 3 for Celine Dion.
Okay.
Why? Because Celine Dion is annoying.
I don't know. I just don't put them in the same category.
She's shrill. She's hard to watch.
Okay.
She looks like a bird. I mean, come on.
Whatever.
So that's our survey. And now I am happy to say...
Now, will you sleep tonight?
I can sleep at night. And America, you can too. Because I'm on guard. You're welcome, America.
Lucky us.
Time for our Sonic Boomers trivia quiz.
All right. And here's one. Talk about opinionated. This is in the Lifetimes category.
Okay.
What former girlfriend of Woody Allen did Elliot Gould describe as having the personality of an Amish groupie? Don't hold back there.
Who described her?
Elliot Gould described her as having the personality of an Amish groupie.
And she was a girlfriend of Woody Allen's.
Woody Allen's. If you really think about it, Elliot Gould's comment makes sense based on the type of characters she portrays. But
Is it Diane Keaton?
yes, it is.
Whoops. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Diane Keaton, yeah. I almost said Jill Clayburgh, but I don't know if Jill Clayburgh was a Woody Allen girlfriend or
Yeah,
not.
I don't know about girlfriends.
And I always confuse
I
Jill
do- I do.
Clayburgh and Diane Keaton
Yeah.
for some reason. All right, here comes your question.
All right.
And this is... Let's see. Why did Donnie and Marie Osmond shun drugs, alcohol, and caffeine and save themselves for marriage?
I think I know this. Shall I just say it, or do you
Why
want to?
did Donnie and Marie Osmond shun drugs, alcohol, and caffeine and save themselves for marriage? Well, obviously they weren't very popular, were they? Okay, go ahead.
Because they're Mormons.
That is correct.
There
They
you go.
are Mormons. So there you go. Program number 101 of the Sonic Boomers podcast. You know, sometimes we put these things together just because, well, as we used to say about our show, sometimes we pull it off the top of our heads and sometimes we pull it out of someplace else. and we just thought we'd do a show that was kind of fun.
Kind of fun for, mix it up a little
So
bit.
thank you for joining us for program number 101 of the Sonic Boomers, and be listening soon for program number 102. Until then, I'm Pete Torriello.
And I'm Maureen Torriello.
Keeping America safe. Now go out and make
Make some
noise.
noise.